Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to our BKFC Reddit Ask Me Anything Ice Wars edition. We're joined by ice cold Ryan Snobeck. How you doing, man?
Good, Gator, man. I'm doing really well. Happy to be on again.
I feel like we should have got you on a little sooner, but I'm kind of glad because we just got some big news announced today that Chicago is coming up. You're a guy who doesn't live too far from Chicago, so I definitely see a future Ice Wars in your future soon.
Absolutely. I see a bunch of guys taking planes or getting on that train ride from Michigan to go over there to the Windy City and watch Ice Cold kick the shit out of somebody. So on that in that ice box.
You know that's the one. It's 5 hours from me. I was just down there for the Hammond card, which was wonderful. I wanted to go to the Michigan one, but it didn't work. It's 9 hours, and there's not a good way to get to Central Michigan from Wisconsin.
One hell of a card though, that Michigan show, man. That was I got to see that in row two for the
Sure.
last couple of fights, and it was that Mohawk he is courageous and an absolute warrior of a man. And big shout out to him for his aggression and his courage to just go out there and lay it all on the line.
Now I've talked to some of the other Ice Wars people, and they say, look, we fight on the ice. It's cool. But they went to the BKFC and they said it's just next level and it's pure carnage. And it is like, I've been to both of them live. Ice Wars is way better live, but BKFC is just phenomenal live too.
It was awesome. It was a really cool show. I mean, the pop out of the crowd, when you hear a guy hit that mat, right, and they're scrambled eggs for brains, then they just hit that mat. It's a thud, and then it's just a big pop in the crowd. Everybody just cheers, and you're happy to see the guys get up. I mean,
Sure.
and get to the judges, and they obviously don't get their hand raised when they're knocked out, but it's super exciting for everybody there.
You were there for Ice Wars. You were there for the BKFC event. I wasn't sure how I'd feel. I mean, it looked like a pretty good event, but I also don't necessarily think that arena is perfect for BKFC. Like Ice Wars, it worked phenomenal, but like I said, BKFC is a little different. But it looked like a pretty good event overall, though.
Oh, they had people all the way to the back row by the bars. I remember, if you remember the Mount Pleasant, they got the bars kind of in the
Yeah.
back, and they had seating all the way to the back. They had people all the way to the back, man. It was loud in there. Like you said, when it comes to like the in-house experience, most people are watching it on the screen rather than in the cage, or in the
Sure.
ring. But they do such a great job of presenting it on the screen in real time for the fans there. It's a lot of fun. They do a really good job. Big shout out to the BKFC with everything they're doing.
So Ice Wars, you were on the first one in Michigan. You were on Florida. You had a phenomenal fight. You went to this event. Like, are you starting to get recognized now? I mean, you have a pretty unique look. Are you starting to get noticed a little bit more?
Not really. When you are walking out an event and you're wearing a BKFC Ice Wars cutoff, right?
Sure.
And you have the physique of a fighter, people ask you, did you just get done fighting, right? And unfortunately, in my fight, I didn't even get touched. So
Sure.
I know that I say unfortunate, and that might sound crazy, but I want to be in wars. Like I want to be in those Justin Street like five round wars where
Right.
you get a couple of stitches, or you got black eyes, or a bloody nose, or whatever, right? Like you're lumped up because you have been training your ass off to do that for months and preparing yourself with um sparring. And I mean, I got my ass kicked in sparring way worse than I ever did in Florida.
Sure.
My fight was only 28 seconds long. It was stopped. I Again, if you watch it again, you'll just see me lurking in the background, just waiting, and then all of a sudden they said it's over, TKO. And I said, it's over, TKO. And they said, you won. So at that point, I put my hands in the air and, started hooting and hollering like an animal. And I ended up giving Mr. Feldman a great handshake, and Charlie a great handshake, and told them
Sure.
thank you for everything that they did for me and for every one of the ice fighters. And they thought it was all good, and everything worked out. And I got to shoot the shit with Ian after, which is my favorite thing to do.
It was only 28 seconds long, but as I told you off camera, like you and Jordan grabbed each other, you started winging punches. It was everything people were expecting to be. Okay, the controversy was he said it was a finger in the eye. They were saying it was a knuckle in the eye. Was it a finger or was it a knuckle?
I was not a finger in the eye. It was probably a knuckle in the eye during that exchange. I did hit him with the cleanest of those shots. If you watch it, they got the whole slow-mo thing, and
Sure.
I hit him with one of those straight rights that, you know, if I wouldn't have been holding him up, he might have just fell flat on his face in the corner. I don't know. But he got up, I got up, and then we went right back at it. I threw a straight left. You know, he blocked it. And then we exchanged again. And again, I threw a couple of right hands. And then it seems like with all my fights, whenever I grab a guy and start chucking knucks with them, they always fall down. And I fall over them. And when we fell down, he said he couldn't see.
Right.
And then at that point, I'm just kind of lurking in the background, and the referees are like, you know, chill out, bro, like go to your corner. And then the fight was over. That's the next thing I knew. And again, I was hooting and hollering and shaking hands with Dave Feldman and Charlie and kind of enjoying the moment. But at the same time, I really wanted to be in an all-out war. It's just not the way it worked out.
Amarant Arena, was that like a dream come true? Like
Wow,
you're fighting in a professional
was
hockey?
it ever? What now? Now here's the thing. You made some comments before Amarant Arena when you found out about it, about the size of it, right? And
Sure.
with us being a new promotion, and you know, that's a 30,000 seat stadium, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, our fan base is not 30,000 seat strong yet. I mean, we're hoping for it. We're trying to attain that, obviously, but it's a lot of empty seats.
Sure.
When you watch it on TV, that just looks like there's a lot of empty seats. And we had a nice crowd. We had a great crowd. They were ruckus. It was air. It was electric. It was electric in the
Everybody's
air.
standing. They were pumped, dude. Like, yeah.
Oh, for sure. It was just electric, like I said. And it just looks empty because of the size of the venue.
Sure.
But they they treated us like kings. I mean, we had awesome locker rooms with our names on the lockers,
Yeah.
and they got us those new jerseys and the pants and the socks, so everybody looked clean, right? Now we didn't look
Sure.
like a bunch of bad news bears out there. You know, we had all matching gear and everybody looked good. And
Yeah.
when we first saw the helmets, everybody was kind of like, ugh, you know,
Sure.
but they're actually super lightweight. They're super comfortable. You don't even realize you're wearing it. And when you do punch a guy in the side of the head, right,
Yeah.
you're not cracking your hand wide open, punching screws and hockey helmets. So
Absolutely.
I can see why they did it in regards to athletic commissions. There's going to be all the athletic commissions in the world are probably going to say they want us to have some sort of headgear on because of the ice aspect. I mean, they don't want to see some guy hit the back of his head on the ice, right? And, you know, potentially lose his life or, you know, become brain dead or whatever, you know. And
Sure.
so all of us would rather fight without helmets. Every single one of us would rather go no dome at all and just, you know, bare knuckles and just ice fighting. But
Yeah.
at the same time, there is politics involved with athletic commissions and people that are paying the big bucks to rent these places out and let us fight there.
Well, and you have to have the helmets. You look during your guys' event that Mike Arcamono or whatever his last name. I struggle with that. He hit his head when they went down. You could see his head bounce off the ice. So I mean, it was a good thing that look at you with that nice drink bucked up, huh?
Always, brother. Always.
That's probably my favorite one, the rocket pop. Absolutely.
Yeah, I like it too.
Anyway, he did bounce his head off. So I mean, it was good that he has a helmet. Like you said, no one. You guys aren't making enough money that it's worth somebody either getting paralyzed or getting, you know, like becoming brain dead. You know what I mean? It's not.
Yeah, same thing with the Rosa fight, where the kid that he fought, he hit his head pretty good on the side on the ice too. Where if he would have been, you know, bare domed, it could have been way worse for him. You know, I watched that fight and I thought they kind of let Rosa get away with a little bit of stuff. I thought he hit him when he was down once. You know, I mean, it was close, but still, if you
Sure.
watch my fight with Christie, like I was about to give him that last death blow when he was on the ground,
Yeah.
that finishing blow, and I pulled the punch. I didn't hit him with it because I was worried if I did land that bomb, I would have lost by disqualification.
Absolutely.
And I know we only fought 28 seconds, but I knew after 28 seconds that if it would have continued, I was going to kick the shit out of him. So I wasn't worried at all about it. But at the same time, I did pull that punch out of the rules, not out of not wanting to hurt him. I wanted to hurt him. I just didn't want to get disqualified doing it.
Let me ask you this. I mean, you're going into the fight. At what point do you know that you're going to win? Did you know
I knew
before
I
the
was going to
fight?
win.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I knew I was going to win this fight the moment I laid eyes on this guy.
Okay.
He wasn't as big as I thought he was going to be. Um, he didn't have a demeanor of a fighter. He's a very, very nice guy. I don't know if that's just his um, upbringing and his roots there in Canada and Nova Scotia. He's a family guy. He's a kind man. Um,
Absolutely.
and I've got no ill will against him whatsoever. It's just I was there to hurt him, and
Yeah.
and he was there more for the experience, I thought. And I didn't, as you know, like I didn't post anything on social media for months before the fight
I was super disappointed. Yeah.
because I didn't want anybody to know how hard I was working. I
Okay.
hadn't worked that hard in my life. I mean, I was chiseled out of stone. I was 100% ready. And I started boxing. I started training with a boxer in Essexville, Michigan. And shout out to the Evil Boxing and Fitness and my coach, Francisco. I mean, he made me, the first time I went in there, I trained for 2 hours. And the first hour and 45 minutes, he didn't even let me throw a punch. It was nothing. It was nothing but head movement and hands and running and cardio. And he just wanted to test me to see if I had the guts to do it. Right.
Sure.
I mean, most people would say, well, when the hell am I going to start throwing punches? Right.
Yeah.
We went an hour and 45 minutes without me throwing one punch. And then the last 15 minutes, he was like, all right, let's see what you got with your jab. Let's learn the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And it was honestly, boxing is the hardest thing that I've ever done. Uh, it's way worse than a hockey practice. Hockey practices, you're always in your element. You're
Sure.
skating sprints and stuff like that. The boxing training, I wasn't in my element. It was all new to me, right? So when I was watching, because he'd show me tape of my sparring sessions, and I'm throwing these really wide and just really crappy looking punches, right? But then, about 2 weeks later, I spar the same guy, and my punches are straighter, and my head movement is better, and I wasn't so wild and out of control, and it made me really feel real good. And here's the thing about him though. He doesn't give me any credit, no compliments whatsoever. Never
Okay.
tells me I'm doing a good job, right? Even though he thinks it. Like he didn't tell me I was a good fighter until after my fight, after I won.
Nice.
After I won, he told me, he says, dude, when you hit the mitts, he says, you sent shockwaves through my body. He's like, you, which made me feel good. So I don't have a big head. I'm not a cocky guy. I know that you only get what you put in when it comes to the work. So if you work your ass off, then you're going to be putting on good performances. So that's how I feel.
I was curious because you and I had talked a little bit, in between fights, but you were sucking at social media. You weren't putting anything out. So it was specific on purpose because I was wondering, I was like, man, this guy, he like you have that star power, but you were kind of hindering
Yeah.
yourself. But now to hear why it makes sense. But I'm
I
hoping,
just didn't want him to know. I didn't
yeah,
want him to know anything about it because he was posting his shit.
sure.
And I blocked him and unfollowed him because I didn't even want to see it. Right.
Okay.
And my dad is a big BKFC Ice Wars guy. He was at the event. He was at the show. He was in my hotel room. He was with the guys in the hotel lobby. They all loved him, right?
Sure.
And I was telling him, I was like, I just don't want this guy to know anything about me, right? I don't want to. I don't care about if he's talking to you, if
Sure.
he's talking to the mob guys, if he's talking to anybody, if he's posting stupid pictures of him with bullets and all this other shit, you know, like I don't care. Like you can sit there and do all that stuff and self promote. I'm training 3 times a day. You know,
Sure.
I'm running 4 miles in the morning. I'm hitting bags right after work, and I'm lifting weights at night. So I didn't want him to see that because I didn't want him to know that holy shit, this guy is taking this shit for real. Like, I mean, I didn't miss a day. So I was ready. I was so ready to get to Florida.
Shout out to you because a lot of guys talk to me and they love to fill me in, and you kept those cards so close. I mean, you didn't give me a lot, and like I said, a lot of guys reaching out, hey, let's do an interview, and you didn't say nothing, and I was going to push it. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
good
And if
job.
I
You're
would have
slick.
reached out, I would have just told you. I said, bro, I am just a snake in the weeds right now.
Yeah.
I'm just laying low. You'll see when I come out and I do my walkout, you know, you're just going to see a man that is just got one thing on his mind, and that's violence.
You've almost got to be disappointed you have to wear all the hockey gear because you and the Laporte boys can't get your shirts off fast enough. You know what I mean?
Sure.
If you
That
guys
was
could
fun.
just fight,
I knew this question was coming. I knew this question was coming. If my fight would have been like the 3-round war or the, you know, the amazing knockout, you know, where, you know, his brains are scrambled on the ice and I'm standing over his limp body, you know, and, you
yeah,
know, putting my hands up in the air, you know, at that point for sure, I'm ripping off the shoulder pads and going bare chested. But with the way everything worked out, it was kind of it was kind of a clusterfuck to tell you the
sure.
truth after the fight because I didn't even know really what was going on. So I didn't get that chance to take off my shirt and do that. But you know, I hope that the next time I get to talk to Ian after my fight, I'm bare chested and I'm flexing for the world. So
Let's talk camaraderie, friendship. That's the one
yeah,
thing I noticed with you hockey guys. Holy shit, you guys become great friends. You see it a little bit with the bare knuckle guys, but you hockey dudes, you guys are always like, oh, well, I was talking to so and so, and I see your guys' group chats. Like there is a
yeah.
real bond with you guys.
Yeah, I think hockey's a team sport, and most of us, I wouldn't say all of us are hockey enforcers. Like we grew up as the enforcer
Sure.
on the team, right? Um, but we're all hockey guys, and so we got that team camaraderie, and any guy that is willing to do this and fight is always going to be a team first guy. Like you're going to be able to block a shot. You're going to be able to kill a penalty or get in a fight or, you know, whatever it takes to win. All right. And Nick and Will Laporte are like that. Hollywood
Mm-hmm.
Hayes is like that. Um, every single one of these guys is like that. Where my dad said this in the hotel. He says, I don't know how you guys can sit there and hang out and smile and laugh. And then all of a sudden, like, you want to just absolutely kick the shit out of that same guy that you
Yeah.
were just sitting across having breakfast, drinking a coffee with not, you know, 6 hours ago, you know, like,
Yeah.
but that's what it is. That's just how it works. It's all competition. There is no personal beef with any of it, honestly. And there might be you know,
Sure.
sometimes like some of the best BKFC, some of the best, other promotions are the best when there is that heated rivalry, you know, that hatred, you know. Those are awesome. That sells tickets, right? We haven't been in the game long enough for any of us to really hate anybody. Um, there is some beef with that Justice Smoke guy and some of the
Yeah.
other guys. I don't really know what's going on with it, but I know the body bag put a quite a video out there, right? I mean,
Yeah.
where you know, I wouldn't want anybody to be talking to me like that in front of the world, but it is what it is. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with that. We'll see what happens with is there going to be a true rivalry with two guys that really hate each other in this sport?
I feel like we need that fight to happen because, like you said, everybody's friends and everybody's cool, but like there is something about two dudes who hate each other. And you know what? They settle it a little bit, but even if they still have that hatred afterwards, I mean, like I said, they settle it a little bit. But yeah, like there is nothing like two guys who hate each other throwing knuckles at each other.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more.
you guys' weight classes are a little weird. It's like 15 to 20 pounds. Do you know where
25.
you're? Yeah, it's a little,
Yeah.
and you know what? Charlie's adamant, like, hey, we're not going to do the same thing as BKFC. We're not going to do every 10 pounds. You guys, he said, look, you have a 180-pound guy fight a 265-pound guy, in hockey. He goes, it just happens.
He's
And,
right.
right. To an extent, I agree. Like I said, like, I would love to see at least 15 pounds, but it is what it is. Are you starting to take notice? Charlie did say belts are going to be coming eventually. Like, are you starting to take notice of the other guys and you're
I'm
starting to
a
make a hit list?
175-pound fighter. I'm a middleweight. All right.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
went up a weight class to the cruiserweight based upon the matchup. Right.
Sure.
When what's his name? I can't remember right now
Jordan?
for reason. No,
Oh.
the guy the matchmaker, legendary fighter. I don't know why I
Yeah.
can't.
Morasti.
John Morasti. When he called me and said, "Are you willing to fight Jordan Christie in the cruiserweight division, which is the 175 to 200?"
Sure.
I said, "Fuck yeah!" I said, "Hell
Of
yeah!"
course.
Yeah. I like that matchup. Like he doesn't scare me, right? If I would have had to fight somebody that is coming down from like
Sure.
210 and they're 6'2" and they're going to make 200 pounds, right?
Sure.
That doesn't really do me a lot of good
No.
because I walk around like I'm a big 175. Like my last fight in Mount Pleasant when I fought against Martuscello, I was the bigger man, right? I mean,
Absolutely. Sure.
and I know I'm not always going to be the bigger man. I realize that. You're not always going to be the bigger man. I'm 5'8". I mean, I'm never going to be, like.
Sure.
But at the same time, I think I'm the baddest 175-pound BKFC Ice Wars hockey fighter in the world. And I know there's going to be pros, ex-pros coming out of the woodwork, right? And I'm here right now, and I'm going to work my ass off to stay here right now. And these guys, you better realize that this isn't your 20-second hockey fight that you have on the ice in front of the people that you fought for before, right? This
Sure.
is this is 3 1-minute rounds. So these are standing 8 counts, right? You might get rocked and not have the ability to recover from it, right? If you get rocked in a regular hockey fight in a regular game, the referees jump out there and it's over, right? And you go to the penalty box or you go to the locker room for help or whatever, right? And that's it, right? And most hockey fights last about 20 seconds long, right? I mean, very rarely do you see a 1-minute hockey fight.
Right.
Sometimes you do, and the place goes crazy, right?
Absolutely.
So that's what we want to do is we want to put on these absolute wars where guys are tough and they can eat a punch, and like that Martuscello versus Wolftail fight, right?
Yeah.
Are those guys fought a war. I mean, they were both split open, they were both bloody, and they went 3 1-minute rounds, and it was a very entertaining fight, and they showed a lot of great skill in the skating and everything about it. So that was a good one.
You fought on BKFC Ice Wars 1, you fought on BKFC Ice Wars 3. A little bit of rules changes. Do you like the rules and everything that's going forward in 3? Do you like how like Charlie's kind of modified it?
Yeah, I like it. I like the standing 8 count. I thought in the main event, next fight, I thought they should have gave LaFerriere a standing 8 count when he hit him with that one punch that dropped him to a knee. I don't know if you remember that, but Nick hit
Yeah.
him with a nuke, and it stunned LaFerriere where he went like that, but he took a knee really quick and got back up. And the refs didn't call it a knockdown, but I was thinking to myself, that's a 10-8 round for Nick.
Sure.
You know, and Nick was very disappointed in his fight. When we were in the showers after we were talking, and he was just telling me about how he's got to get better. He's got to get better. He's got to get better. And that's one thing I really respect about Nick is he's always wanting to improve. He fought a guy that's got so many professional hockey fights in
Sure.
LaFerriere, and LaFerriere doesn't speak a word of English. He's just
I
pure
asked
French.
him to be on the show. He said no.
Yeah, no, he is. We went out to the casino after. Like you said, us hockey guys, we just got done throwing knucks, and him
Sure.
and Laporte were ripping shots at the bar at the casino right after. But he doesn't speak a word of English. He's got a translator
No.
with him, very cool guy, all that, but um, it's just it's like you said, that hockey camaraderie where even with that language barrier, you could say something to his translator and he'd laugh about it, and it was pretty cool.
It's weird when you have somebody like Laporte should clearly. I think Nick should cut down to 205 or the 200 pounds. I mean he's 215. He fought a dude who is over 50 pounds heavier than him.
Yeah, we fought
and,
a super heavyweight.
Right.
If you look at our rules and on our website, the different weight classes, there's a super heavyweight, 250 and above, right? The Ferrier came in as a super heavyweight, and Nick's a regular heavyweight, right? So, I mean, kudos to Nick. I think I'm the only guy that has a win in two different weight classes, and the other guy is Wolftail. He fought he lost weight to fight in the middleweight, which is which is going to be where I want to fight at, to fight Martuscello, and he's going to normally be a cruiserweight, I'm assuming. I don't know what he's going to want to do, but if that's going to be the fight that's going to happen, is going to be me and Wolftail. I don't know if that's going to be the fight, but for some reason I kind of see that happening, and I've got no problem with that. It'll be an awesome war because I know he's a tough dude, but he's not the guy that I really want to call out. I told you off air that there is a guy that I really want to call out, but I was told not quite, not so fast. Like,
I mean, if you're a fight fan, there's probably one name on the roster that everybody wants to fight, so we won't say it. But I mean, it seems like if you have the big name and you're coming, a lot of hockey players feel disrespected to have these people from outside the organization come in, and not saying you, but it seems like, and we see the same thing with BKFC when a boxer comes in. BKFC fighters like, oh, this is my sport, how dare you come in? So it is kind of funny. Like, I mean, you guys are protective of your sport, and like I said, there's a big name, people will know, but we won't say it officially.
Sure, yeah, and that's the guy I want. I want him bad, but at the same time, I'm not going to bite the hands that feeds me and cause a scene here on social media. So, but and I know it's coming. It's coming.
You talked about joining a new boxing gym. The one thing that I've noticed with the fighters who have won in BKFC or in the Ice Wars, but maybe even not necessarily won, a lot of you guys are joining boxing gyms. You go, you know what? I knew how to fight, but the boxing is really playing a key.
Well, did you see Hollywood Hayes' body transformation from Ice Wars 2 to Ice Wars 3?
Absolutely.
Right? He started boxing. He's an incredible hockey player. Like, out of all of us Ice Wars guys, he's probably got the best pedigree of hockey. Like, he's probably the best hockey player. Okay. But at the same time, he knew after that Cree event, that event that they had in Canada, that he needed to get his shit together physically, right? He got gassed. He got winded. I mean, you really, there's no excuse for any of us getting tired in 3 1-minute rounds. All right. No. I mean, there's no excuse. If we're going to be a professional fighter, there's no excuse. You should not even be breathing hard after the fight. I mean, if anything, you could be beat to shit, but you can't be breathing hard. Okay. So, like, my boxing trainer, he trains me like I'm a professional fighter. So when I start on the heavy bag after hitting the mitts and running and doing all the things that we do, the head movement, the defense, the ropes, all the stuff, it's a 3-minute round with 8 punch combinations, right? And he's not watching you do it. It's on you. It's on you. It's your heart that you have to put in everything you can during those 8 punch combinations for 3 minutes. And then we get a 30-second rest. At 30-second rest, you're doing jump squats, or you're doing push-ups, or you're doing jumping jacks. You're not actually resting whatsoever. You're just doing a different form of cardio. And then the next round, bell goes off, 10 punch combinations. So you just got done doing 8. Now you go into 10 punch combinations. Again, 30 seconds of whatever he yells, jump squats, push-ups, jumping jacks, whatever, right? And then the bell rings, 12 punch combinations. You're like, oh my God. So, after doing that for so long, the 3 1-minute ice boxing rounds is just, it should be easy. And that's what it was. Obviously I only got to fight for 28 seconds, so
Sure.
can't really say that I didn't, get a chance to test that theory about not being tired. But I know how hard I worked, and I know that I was in great shape going into it.
Let me ask you this. We saw Anthony Mendoza, Dozer, he signed with BKFC. Is that on your radar at all? Like, I mean, you just hung out with Mohawk. You just went to an
Now
event. Could we see you
here's
there?
the thing, Gator. Now that I'm in this fight game, right? I don't know how much these guys are getting paid. Everything is always hush, 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 hush about how
We
much
can
do
talk.
you
We can
actually
talk
get
offline.
paid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. The BKFC guys, I'm an Ice Wars guy. Okay.
Sure.
I'm willing to get stitches and black eyes and beat up, right? For Ice Wars, because that's my thing. I didn't grow up as a boxer growing up.
Right.
I just started boxing a few months ago, right? And I love it. I'm not going to say I don't love it. I love it. I think it's the most incredible sport, the ultimate test of wills in the world, right? Um, but at the same time, I see what happens win or lose on those fights.
Yeah.
Okay. You're getting your face rearranged. Like you are
Absolutely.
getting there's a reason that they have a room called the stitch room, right?
Yeah.
It's because even after you win, like you might have a gash underneath your eye, that you're gonna have for the rest of your life because you just got dotted with one shot, right? Um, I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying I don't have the courage to do it. I definitely have the courage to do it. It's just I don't know if it's really worth it to me
I can
to
understand.
to do it for $1,000 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know really what it is. I know the bonuses are a lot better in on foot. On the guys that do the stand up on feet, the actual BKFC guys.
Mm-hmm.
But I again, I'd have to really improve, I think, in the boxing and get really good at it, where I'm starting to really kick the shit out of guys in the sparring sessions, right? Because we
Sure.
bring in guys from Flint and we bring in guys from different areas as much as we can, right? And they really give you a test of how good are you at this, right? Like when are you getting tired? Like sometimes you might not have gotten a good night's sleep, or you might not have had a good meal or something, and you notice that you're halfway into round one, right? And you're already tired, right? And you need to step back and start using head movement, and that's not really the type of fighter I'm an all action fighter. I'm always coming forward, so it's hard for me to do that. But at the same time, that's boxing. Boxing, you've got to be able to pick and choose when to fight and when to use your defense and catch some rest. So those guys have been doing it for a long time. You know, I'm gonna stay in my lane. I'm gonna stay on the ice for right now. But later in life, if there's a show, and later in 2026 or whatever at the Soaring Eagle again, or wherever in Michigan or wherever in close, and
Sure.
I get a chance to talk to Charlie about how do I sign a BKFC contract, I'll think about it. But right now, I'm a hockey fighter.
We don't have to get too in depth of this, but we have a mutual friend, Kamosi. Did he win or did he lose in Italy? You watched.
Absolutely, he won. I mean, you can't give a
No.
decision that's close to the guy based upon home cooking. I mean,
And it
it
wasn't
was.
even close, I thought. I thought he won
I,
four to
I thought
one.
I thought it was 4-1 or maybe 3-2.
Yeah.
But that guy didn't really throw any like shots. I mean, his shots
Sure.
were all like really little pitter patter shit. I don't know how Kamosi got cut so early. That was really
Quick.
strange,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden he was busted open, and I didn't even really see anything that did it. Like it was strange to me. I reached out to Chris and I told him, dude, you won that fight, and he just gave me the thumbs up. I mean, he'd heard it from thousands and thousands of other people, so.
Sure.
I mean, I'm not one of his really good friends. I'm more of just an acquaintance. I only met him the one time, but obviously, him and Whitney are really cool people. So they
Sure.
they added me, and they thought I was cool, and everything was all good. I thought Bonner got screwed. I thought Bonner won that fight. I mean, even though he wasn't as aggressive as the other guy, I can see
Sure.
that. But
Yep.
Bonner is a boxer. Bonner is a boxer. That's his bread and butter, right? So he sticks and moves, right? And he might not come forward all the time. But when you looked at those two men after that fight, and the one guy's face looks like a swollen pumpkin, and
Sure.
Bonner's untouched, right? Like not even cut. Like he looked like he didn't even really get touched, right? For him to lose that decision, I thought that was bullshit too. But yeah, I'm 100% in agreement with you that Chris won that fight, and then I think Bonner won that fight as well.
I will say this: the former 165-pound and the former world boxing champion Austin Trout messaged me after that fight and said Bonner got robbed. So, like, he agreed with you.
Agreed.
Okay, so I mean, Chicago, is that what's next for you? That's when we can expect.
I don't know if that's the next event. I'm not 100% sure. They haven't told us. That was what they just released. Okay. Right. Apparently there's 5 or 6 events potentially in 2026. Okay. Right. Which is awesome. Great news for everybody involved. I did see that in the social media post that they did have the United Center in the background at the end.
Could you imagine? Yeah.
Again, you and I are kind of in agreement. Like, it's a big bite, right? That's a big bite, but it's a really cool experience walking into an NHL arena and getting to throw down on their ice. So, be in their locker rooms and stuff, and just the whole 9 yards. You won't hear me complain about having to fight anywhere. I could fight in a garage filled with ice, or I can fight in the United Center. I don't care. As long as I got an opponent, I'm good to go.
Let me ask you this: going into your next fight, whenever that will be, are you going to go radio silent again, or like are you ready to embrace this new?
It all depends. It all depends on the opponent, right? If I know that this person is working and training their ass off just like I am, right? Me posting my videos of what I'm doing isn't going to change their, and I know they're already working their ass off, right? So, with the last fight, I wanted to remain radio silent because I didn't think that guy was working as hard as I was, right? Like like I said, I was in the gym 3 times a day. I was never missing. I was eating right. I wasn't drinking any pop. I wasn't eating any junk food. I'd eat an occasional burger here and there, but I'd work my ass off to deserve that burger, right? So, I don't know. That's a good question. I want to promote myself. I want to promote the Ice Wars. I like that. I mean, I like to be known. I like to shake hands with fans. I love to take photos with people. I want Ice Cold Ryan Snobeck to be a household BKFC Ice Wars name. I want kids to rock a black T-shirt that's got a blue fist on it or whatever. I don't know, but in regards to it all depends on my opponent. If I think my opponent is going to be gaining something by me posting stuff, I won't post anything. If I respect this guy and I know this is a professional that is doing exactly what I'm doing to get ready for this, I'll probably will post some more stuff. I'll do an interview with you. I'll go on with the mob guys and whoever else wants to talk, and I'll shoot the shit.
I just want to say, like, when we first did our interview, remember we had issues, like multiple, it kept dying. Like, this one went phenomenal. Like, you've gotten way better at interviewing. All right. Do you have?
I was a D- student with my first ones. I think I'm up to a B. I think I'm a nice B student at this point.
You know what I've noticed is it's just getting like a lot of you guys had never really done the pod. Like, it's so funny when I do a podcast with somebody and then they message me. That was my first ever podcast, and I was like, I wish you'd tell me. You know what I mean? But it is repetition and getting. And like you said, you're a professional now. Yeah.
No, you just gotta be aware that you got to think before you talk, right? You just got to take that extra second just to think, and don't spout anything that sounds dumb, just be genuine, be real, be yourself. But at the same time, you got to be a professional. You don't want to badmouth people that don't need to be badmouthed. Like, it is what it is. We really appreciate you. We love you. We support all your everything about you. We support you. I'm sure that the stand-up guys do as well. I'm sure they love to see. I love to see you at that last event in the corner of your guy. Wow,
Bryce was bad man, isn't he?
he's got one of the most world-class jabs I've ever seen in my life, and he knows it, and he
Oh,
knows it.
he's such a cocky little fucker.
I
I love
know,
him.
he knows it. Like, he knows that he could sit there with his reach and his speed, and he doesn't even have to throw twos and threes. He can just throw that one and just keep cracking people with that one and keep them at bay. So he's impressive.
My favorite thing about Bryce is he's still never hit anybody as hard as he can. People talk about like, oh, pitter patter. I mean, that dude cuts you up with everything he touches you with, though. I mean, like, and he doesn't have to
Oh,
touch
for
you
sure.
hard.
Oh, for sure. Like you said, I haven't seen him rock anybody with a big three, an uppercut or anything like that, because he's just opening up guys' faces with that perfect jab of his, man. So why, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Or, I'm sorry, if it ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Sure.
if it ain't, whatever, I can't.
You'll have to watch some of his brother, because his brother fights for BKFC too, and his brother takes people's heads off. Like, it's a yin and yang.
Well, the guy he was fighting was throwing some really, really bomb, where bad intentions, right? Where Bryce used his length and his defense to get out of the way, but some of those missed him by this much. Like, where if they would have landed, your guy would have been flatlined. I mean, he knows what he's doing, so he knows how to get out of the way of a punch. But wow, those were some absolute nukes out of that other guy.
One of my favorite things, like, I mean, it's great to interview you guys, but I feel like I get so much more by going and doing the corner thing and seeing how it's all done. Like, it's made me such a better interviewer, I feel like.
Yeah, you get to really feel the electricity that's in the air, right? And the emotion that goes into a fight. I mean, it's a really surreal experience when you get on that ice, right? And you get in that ice box and you look at all the people, and it's really cool. It's what you've been training your ass off for, and you get the butterflies. I mean, like, before the fight, this is just something that I never really did before. But before the fight, when the girl fight was going on before mine, that was the fight before mine.
Right.
They put you in a room by yourself. I don't know if it's by yourself or with your corner people, but I didn't have any corner people in Florida. They just provided them for me. Okay. So they put me in this carpeted room by myself, right?
Right.
And you're just alone with your thoughts in a room by yourself with the door shut, right? So, I'm pacing back and forth, and I'm punching the wall and stuff, and I'm, like, and I was just a caged animal. And but I was super nervous and, not scared, but just that real nervous excitement, right? And it's just because I hate losing so much. I can't
absolutely
losing, right? And I'm not afraid of getting punched. I'm not afraid of getting in an absolute beat up war, but I am afraid of losing. All right. And I don't want to lose. And like I told you before, like, I'll die in that ice box before I quit. So I'm not going to, you're never going to see me quit. You're never going to see me put on anything other than an awesome war of a fight, right? So I think the company knows that. I think Ian knows that. I think Charlie knows that. I think John Barassi knows that. I think everybody knows that. I hope my fans know that. I hope my fans out there and everybody out there that likes Ice Wars knows that Ryan Ice Cold Snobeck is going to go down swinging every single time.
When you fight in Chicago, and if you need somebody in your corner, you got me. Do you have a message for your fans to end the show?
I do, actually. I do. So all of us fighters are going to continue to improve. All right. Every one of us is taking this shit so seriously now. We know that this is the real deal. Now that we're on real ice, that whole synthetic excuse, it looked like we were walking, like skating, I mean, you were there for the Michigan. It just wasn't real ice. Right. And it was actually dangerous. It was sketchy. And they did that because they had to, right? Now that we're going on real ice, you get to use your edges, you get to use your hockey pedigree, and you're gonna see guys that are in shape. You're gonna see guys that are throwing absolute bombs. We're going bare knuckle now, so you're gonna see cuts, you're gonna see splits, you're gonna see blood, you're gonna see all that good stuff. You're going to see guys that are willing to put on absolute wars. Even Scary Barry, even against Val, she didn't want to quit. Her
Right.
face was blowing up like a balloon. She was
Absolutely.
cut, bleeding out of her face really badly, but she didn't want to quit.
No.
And she very well could have maybe even won that fight. Who knows, right? I mean,
Sure.
it's a fight, so who knows? She obviously took the worst of it in round one, and they didn't give her a chance to do it anymore. But that's what you can expect from all of us fighters: is courage and heart and aggression and violence, and hopefully good fights for years and years and years to come. We appreciate everybody out there that supports us, and we appreciate you, Jason, and we appreciate everybody out there that is an Ice Wars fan.
I mean, everybody remembers Hoist Gracie and Ken Shamrock. Right now, you guys are in the early UFC. Everybody's going to remember Ice Cold Ryan Snobeck. Everybody's going to remember Val and the Laporte guys. It is phenomenal. You guys are in such like a great position right now.
I hope so. I hope that we just get great matches for years to come. The production value, the TV product gets better. I mean, I don't really know how to make it better. That's not my forte. I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was a little long, right? A little bit long, just
Right.
the runtime. But that's just because there's different things that they have to do. They got to squeegee blood off the ice and stuff. I mean, there's certain things that they got to do that the fans don't see. And most people that watched it and watched the entire thing told me they thought it was an incredibly fun 3 hours or 2.5 hours or whatever it ended up being. So hopefully we keep putting on awesome bangers for fights, and hopefully that we can get some more people in those big ass arenas that they keep putting us in. So
look, man, I appreciate everything. Ice Cold Ryan Snobeck, thank you so much for your time. I can't wait to do it again. If you do it again, but we'll talk after your fight, sure.
Appreciate it, Gator.
All right, man. Have a great night. Thanks so much, sir.
You too, bud. You too.